Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. This is your girl, Amy. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Um, of course, as the show opens, we always try to show slides of different things that are happening in the community, organizations that are doing things, organizations that need help. So, if you are in need of assistance of something, you might be able to find it through those slides. Or maybe you're somebody who wants to lend their service, lend their some help to an organization. Those organizations are always looking for people to help them and spread the word about what's going on. And so make sure you check out the flyers and, contact anybody that, you see something that you feel like you can help in. And so, you guys know that we've been talking all month about domestic violence and breast cancer. And so, those are two things that are can be very devastating to a family. But at the same time, we know that there's healing, there's deliverance, there's a process to it. But we just want to be able to come on and encourage anybody who might be going through that. And so today we have two guests with us. We have Lamar Richardson and Charles Carter. How are you gentlemen doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
Good evening, doing well.
Well, thank you for joining us today to talk about breast cancer. I'll go ahead and say I thought that Lamar was actually a survivor for some reason, but it must just because he's such an advocate and he's out there in the community and he's talking about it so much. And so, he had to get me straight on that. But I still thought that it was so neat to have both of these men to come on because one thing is we have to realize that men do get breast cancer too. A lot of times when we think about breast cancer awareness, we always thinking about women and women have to go get checked, but men need to get checked as well. And so I thought it was really neat to have them come on and tell their perspective about, why they do what they do. And so let's get into it. But since you guys, this is your first time to the Making Connections family, I'm going to allow you to just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. Charles, you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. Charles Carter, a native from South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina. I've been in Charlotte for about 20 years, so I'm pretty familiar with the area. A Mason of St. Paul Lodge number 12, Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you for having me on your show.
Lamar.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Lamar Richardson, born and raised right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, on the west side. I'm also an active member of St. Paul Lodge number 12. I appreciate you having us here tonight, and hopefully we can spread the word, spread awareness, reach some people, and make a difference.
Absolutely. And that's where it comes in. We have to share the knowledge, everything that we've learned or experienced. Sometimes it makes us, feel bad. Sometimes it's a process that has, just sometimes we feel embarrassed about it. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want people to know. But why do you guys, even though you haven't experienced it yourself, why do you feel so passionate about making the awareness? Charles, you want to start?
Sure. It was more for me was a lot of time our black brothers get a real negative that we don't care and that we don't do enough. Um, Being Masons, we hear that a lot. So I wanted to change the narrative and let brothers come out and let sisters see that we do support, uh, that we really want to do more in the community as far as handling breast cancer. We also did multiple sclerosis a couple of years ago, and we're going to do Alzheimer's as well. So we're just going to be active and just spreading the word, whatever we can do to help, donations or whatever. That's our obligations as Masons and men to just be there for the community as well as for our sisters and our brothers.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. And so, Lamar, you want to continue with that and just, the awareness. And, well, because we talk about, we just going to be real. Men never go to the doctor. I mean, y'all could be like just sick and just can't move, but y'all won't go to the doctor. So,
Right.
how do you think you're gonna convince men that they need to go get this mammogram done?
Well, mainly what I've come to learn is that in having men talk, round table talk, barbershop talk, so to speak, that's the best time to bring the awareness to the table and bring it out right front. It's easier for men to talk to each other about it, and in hopes of growing the awareness, you can kind of help motivate them to go get checked out. Because as you said, we will wait to the last minute before we go get checked out or see a doctor, and we're trying to change that. We want men to know that this is for the most part, it's a hereditary disease for the most part. And when you know the background, your own family history, it makes it much easier for you. And I think a lot of us, we're unsure of all of our family history. And so we just kind of put things off. It makes it easier to put it off.
I was gonna say, and I mean, I just say even for me, sometimes, especially like you said, if you there's history there, you, you just scared to get that diagnosis. I mean, you're getting your normal checkup, but you just like waiting for that letter. Please be a letter, don't be a phone call.
Right.
And I mean, it's serious because it is serious. And so many times, and that's why I think that early detection, I know it's scary, but if you get that early detection, then there's more chance of a survival or a longer survival than if you wait till you get in that third or fourth stage, right?
Right.
That is correct. That's correct. Once again, it goes back to knowing your family history with early detection. A lot of people don't know if you have a history of breast cancer within your family. From the first moment that it's detected within the family, whatever age range that is, typically you need to go 10 years before that. So let's say your auntie or maybe a grandparent or someone had it around the age 30 or 40. You then would need to start getting checked out 10 years before that, which can put you around the 20-year age range. And then every 5 years, and then once you reach their age range, then it becomes a yearly thing. And that's what people just don't know and realize. They fail to realize this is an ongoing thing. Like you constantly have to be getting checked out because it is hereditary.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, we're young. We don't think anything's gonna happen to us,
Yeah.
It's somebody else's problem, or that just happens to older people. And now one thing I have to say, like the lady who was on the show last week, she was talking about how she called, but they were saying, well, it's not time, da 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 da. But she knew her body. So, even that, it's hard for people to hear that. You want me to be like touching myself and stuff like that, but you need to do those things, right?
Right.
So what would you say about that, Charles? Like, how would I mean, like, what should men look for?
Of course, the lumps. Like you say, you must know your body. But like, go to the doctor, get checked out. Make sure you just get that checkup. But most times we get that one checkup and we like, we good. And then we out. We don't want to go back. But like my brother Lamar said, you got to keep going back and keep this. Like, make sure you just keep checking it over and over. And I guess that's the hard part for men because it's like we looking for it. And we don't want to look for it. Like we'd rather just grow out our arm or something and say, "Oh, there it is," before we actually go get checked out. So, like you said, just awareness that we can get it is important because, like I said, most times the misconception is that it's mostly in women, but the percentage is going up on men as well.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was gonna say. Before that may have been so, and I don't know what it is. What's making the change or the shift, but it's happening. And so, one thing that whatever we talk about on the show is just bringing awareness. Don't be afraid to ask the questions, ask your doctor questions. Even if like you're 20, 25, it might not be your time, but if you're having some aches and pains, a lot of times we just go through life and we just continue, well, it's just because I'm tired, it's because I'm doing a lot. you might not be able to sleep well. You don't know. So slow down enough to evaluate and to go to the doctor and, see where you are,
Right.
because it's better to know. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
That is correct. Actually, that you hit it nail on the head. It's always better to know and have a sense of time frame and a sense of urgency about things. Like we've been saying all along, we sit around and we wait thinking things will take care of themselves, and that's just not how it works.
Exactly, exactly. So I know that Lamar, you said that you guys have been around several people who have actually walked that journey, and you walked along with them. So what does that even look like? What does being a support system for somebody who's going through breast cancer look like?
What I've learned in my dealings, my experiences with a couple of friends of mine is that they don't want to be pitied. They don't want to know pity party. They just want to know that you support them, you have their back, and you don't mind walking the walk with them. It's a long journey, and they know it, but they just don't want to feel like you're around because you pity them.
And so even like, so I think that's the thing too. Sometimes when we know somebody who's been diagnosed, and so as a family member, you're just like, do I talk about it? Do I just kind of avoid it? Like it's not happening. Do I get in their face? Hey, what you want to do? Sit down. So Charles, how do you think? If you're talking to somebody who's a support system, I mean, is it okay that I talk to them about it?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope sometimes because they have that initial shock of getting the diagnosis and it is positive. So you want to tread lightly because sometimes we jump in and we overdo it and they already have to go through the treatments and all that. So they got that on their mind. And here we come trying to, like Brother Lamar said, make like a pity party. So like we kind of like got to feel where the person is coming from. They need that shoulder. You want to be there. But if they fighting like you said, like a G, like a girl, then just get in the fight with them and just hold them down as best as you can. But be there when they do need that shoulder. That's more important.
Hmm. And that's really, that's good advice because everybody's going through it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to realize that, your family is scared. They don't want to lose you. They love you. They
Right.
want you to be well. So I think I've seen it where people are like, why are you crying? I'm the one going through it. But,
Right.
I think that they don't realize we're definitely not feeling what they feel, dealing with what they're dealing with, the hair loss, the different things
Right.
like that. But, because we care, it hurts us as well, right?
Right. Right. Absolutely. Because you're human. Like I said, even though you're not going through it, if that's your loved one, a friend, or even if you're not that close, to see them go through those changes, like you said, the hair loss, um, if they have to have surgery and things like that, um, it's devastating, especially like I said for a lady. Of course, men, we pretty much don't have no hair no way, so we go through that. We ain't worry about no hair, but that's a crown and glory for a woman is her hair, and for us to watch that just kind of like fall out and they go through that, that's devastating. So you definitely have to be cognizant of what you're saying and how you're saying it, and like we said, just being there when they do need you.
Mm, absolutely. And and you have to think about it too sometimes for women, um, when you have to actually have your breasts removed, you
Yeah.
know. So you're just like, oh my gosh, this is a part of me. This is who I am. How am I gonna, I wanna look normal, I wanna feel normal, you
Right.
know? And so there's so many emotions that people go through. And I think a lot of times, like you guys have said, talking, just let them vent. Let them tell you where they need your support, how they need your support. Because
Right.
we can't treat even like the people that you all know. Could you really treat each one the same, or you had to kind of maneuver the way they wanted you to? Lamar, you want to talk about that one?
Sure. One of the most important things you can do is be reassuring. Be reassuring at all times that, hey, you're beautiful, you know, with or without. I accept you for who you are, not what you have. And we're going to take this walk together. You'll never be alone. I'll always be by your side. That's the most important thing you can do is be reassuring of that.
Awesome, awesome. Absolutely. And so, what are some of the things that you all do in the community to bring this awareness, Charles?
Like we get active in marches. This year, Lamar added a party to it, so it was kind of like we go to work in the morning in the walk, and then in the evening we just let our hair down and party, and we actually had survivors there that actually spoke about the experience. So it was a beautiful day for our lodge and for our brotherhood. So just going out, like you said, just giving out information if we have it. But most of the time we just listening because we're the men. So we sit back and just listen and be that listening ear. And then we go out and distribute what we got from people that actually went through it.
Okay. Awesome. Lamar, were you going to say something?
Yes, like you said, we did a walk, we had a party, we're very active within the community. I think the most important thing that I have learned in trying to make a difference is repetitiveness. You always got to keep putting it out there best you can, however you can, to get in people's mind. No, this is very serious. It's affecting us all in one way or another, whether it be personally or impersonal, but it affects us all, and we all need to be checked out.
And that's one thing, just like it's like October, breast cancer awareness, but really it's a year-round situation. It's not something like St. Patrick's Day that happens once a year. This is something that's year-round. This is something you have to pay attention to at all times, right?
Yes, that is correct. This is something you can find out at any given moment. October is just a designated moment for awareness, but we have took on the challenge to bring awareness year round with the help of St. Paul Lodge number 12. My brothers, me and Charles Carter, we're going to meet this thing head on and just become more active in our community and bringing the awareness. We have a lot going on in the making for the year 2022 to bring more awareness, more about out here in a way of doing fundraisers, collecting donations, passing out pamphlets, just getting the word out that, hey, it's okay to go get checked out. Women, you're beautiful the way you are. Guys, please go get checked out. It's no embarrassment about it, nothing to be ashamed of. If there's an issue, don't wait. Go get checked out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And men, get checked out for everything. Get your physical. I mean, it's more than just the breast cancer. It's everything.
Right.
Get checked. I know my uncle, he dealt with prostate cancer. And so, that was a big thing because, he's a manly man. And he's like, I retired from my job and now, I'm having to deal with this. I mean, he really had some emotions and some feelings around it, which is understandable. But, and I think a lot of times with men, this is just my opinion, y'all don't but with men, you keep moving, you keep working, you just like, I'm a man, I gotta work through this. I ain't gonna be no wimp. I mean, but can you speak to me? Come on, tell the men. It ain't about being a wimp. It's about being wise.
Right.
Right. Well, it's easier said than done. Sorry about that, y'all. It's easier said than done to toughen up this walk together. For most men, you're gonna feel less than a man. That's just the way our makeup chemistry. That's how we're raised. That's how we're bred. We don't show much emotion. But it's, as my brother's keeper, it's up to me to say, hey, it's okay. Whatever you're going through, I got you. I'm gonna walk it with you. I'm gonna see you through to the end, and we go beat this thing. But the only way to do it is early detection. You have to go get checked. You can't be ashamed about it. And when you find out that something is wrong, you definitely need to take the necessary steps to get better.
Absolutely. Charles, you have anything you want to share on that?
Yeah, that's why I was gonna say, we was basically the same thing. Um, we have that caveman mentality, give me a goody powder and some Vic Sav and I'll be all right. But that's not the case with this or anything in that matter for men. That's one of the things we need to highlight is us going to take care of ourselves because we're no good to the community. We're no good to our families. We're no good to no one if we did. So we got to really, and I'm glad you're bringing that up, that we would have to get this checked out overall for everything, and make sure we go to the doctor. I mean, I go to the doctor. I work for the city, so I do have decent benefits, so I do go. But a lot of people don't even have that capability to go to the doctor. I mean, far as benefits and things of that nature. But you do have like urgent care. They can't refuse you if you go to the hospital. But that's something that we definitely will target in the oncoming months, making sure that we start taking care of our brothers as well.
Hmm. And while we're talking, let's just talk about it. We talk about it all the time on the show. The fact that even the mental aspect of it, you know, you
Right.
go through a lot.
Mm,
So even if you need to go sit on somebody's couch, if you need to go call a therapist, a life coach, it does not mean that there's anything wrong with you it
right.
just means that, hey, we've hit a roadblock and I
Right.
need some help getting over this hurdle. Means, hey, I might be pissed off. Why did this happen to happen to me? I
Right.
just retired from my job. I'm expecting to go travel, and here I am with a diagnosis, and I'm
Mm,
stuck in a hospital. So even that mental part of it is so serious
right.
because when you don't talk about it, when you don't express your feelings, you're holding all that stuff on the inside, and that's not good for your health either,
Right.
right?
Absolutely not. That's just added stress. Um, like I said, just getting the diagnosis doesn't kill us. If we wake up the next morning, and I know it's men and the things I went through in life, sometimes we just pray, Lord, just take me away. And then we wake up the next morning like, well, you didn't answer that one. So I'm here for a reason. If we understand that we're here for a reason and a purpose, and these are just trials and tribulations that we have to go through as human beings. And if we have a purpose in life, we keep fighting for that purpose and deal with this while we're going along. I think that would help with the stress part of it. Far as just going down in the stupor and just, you know, locking yourself away. Like most times, that's what we do. We lock ourselves away and we don't want to talk to nobody and we hide, and that's not fixing anything. You got to stay active. You got to keep going. You got to keep believing in who you are and why you're here. And if you keep going after that purpose, I think it'll help out a lot with just not really bogging yourself down and giving up.
Mm, very good. Lamar, you want to continue with that? Your thoughts on that?
Like you said, a lot of people aren't privileged to certain benefits, but there are a lot of programs out there that will help you. So there's no reason not to get checked out. I mean, everyone should be getting checked out. There are programs out there. It's just a matter of asking the right question. I guess you could say it that way. A lot of people will say something, but they're not asking the right questions. Programs are out there to help us all, no matter what status you fit into. There's something out there to help you out so that you can get some type of exam to find out what's going on within your body so that you will know.
Exactly. And it, the first person or the first organization, because it seems like right now you have to like prove that you need help. I mean, I'm dealing with stuff. I feel like, I mean, I can't even put it into words. I know I need help. So the first organization, they may not help you, but you got to keep calling. You got to keep reaching out. And a lot of times, really, if people reach out to these, what are they called, grassroots organizations,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you get the most help, because they're people who are, working together, helping one another. Hey, I've never done this, but hey, I know Lamar and Charles over here in the lodge, and they do this. And so because you have such a big reach, you can help get them the answers they need, right?
Right.
Exactly. You have to utilize your resources. That's why we're here. We don't turn anybody away. If there's some information that we can provide for you, we'll definitely pass it along. And sometimes we don't know what it is, but guess what? We don't have a problem trying to find it out for you or helping you find it out. But we just ask that you take the initiative and follow up. Follow up is important. You can't just say, "Oh, okay, thank you for that," and then you do nothing with the information. You have to follow up. You have to take time to make your appointment, stick with your appointment, and when you get there, you have to ask questions. A lot of times as men, we'll say, "Oh man, I got this right here I'm dealing with," and we do nothing else about it. But sit around with our head hung low, and that's not the answer. That's just not how to get better. It's actually very selfish. As Charles and I have said before, we have families dependent on us. The community is dependent upon us, and if we don't step up and make a change, then we're just going to dwindle away, and that's not what we want. We want to make a difference. We want to make a positive difference, and that's why we're doing the things that we're doing now.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I don't even know what y'all do, but I'm just like, oh, God, it's good just to sit with some black men and hear what they're doing.
Right.
They showing up for the community. They showing up for each other. And, because a lot of times people think, we're just fighting against each other. We don't want each other to arrive and, to get better. But that's not the case.
Right.
You see it right here. Here's 3 people who are advocating for our communities, advocating for our families, to be able to learn and get educated and to move forward, right?
Right.
That, through any situation. So what else does the lodge do? I mean, like, do you want to tell us more about the lodge and what you guys do with that?
Sure.
Charles.
I'm ready to talk about the line. But yeah, we did blazers, bow ties, and sneakers dinner last night for the young men in the community. We went out to the Oak Steakhouse. We took about 9 or 10 young men from the ages of 10 to probably 18, 17. And a group of my guys from the lodge, we all went out and had dinner last night. So we do a lot of mentoring for the community. We do a paint and sip for the daughters of the lodge, family events, just anything to do with the family and building our community. That's what we're all about. It's not always easy in the lodge. It's just we're a bunch of brothers together, and we're going to fuss and we're going to argue. But like I said, at the end of the day, we come out with the best product possible. And it's just positive, like I said, just to see the black men working together, not fighting together. I want to be a part of something that helps save lives and not get there when somebody got a sheet over.
Mm-hmm. Now that's something right there. We want to, that's what I say, let's get them early. That's
Right.
why, they're not teenagers anymore, but they're like young adults, but I get on their nerves.
Yeah.
I do.
We have to. We have to.
And I
We
don't
have
care
to.
that I do.
It takes a village, and I think we lost that along the way about the village aspect of raising these kids and raising our families and raising our community, building up the brotherhood and the sisterhood. Like I said, anything positive. I don't club or nothing like that too much, but I like what we did last night to see those young men sitting out with a fork and a spoon, and it wasn't a Bojangle bag and a McDonald bag, and it was something healthy. And then being able to talk to them and ask them questions like I got when I was young. What you want to be when you get big? That was just awesome to be a part of that and just watching their face light up just because somebody was interested in what they wanted to do.
Yes. So Lamar, just on the lines that he's talking about there, I mean, just being able to mentor these young men, I mean, I applaud you guys because, I got nieces and stuff that they gonna be dating. I thank you for helping them to be
Right.
respectful because,
We appreciate it.
Go ahead.
We appreciate it. It's not easy. It takes a lot of repetition, going back to the drawing board over and over to get it right. But a lot of these young men out here, they're starving for the right positive attention. They want to know the correct way to do things. And if you don't take time and make time for them, we'll continue to lose them. We're finding out the more that we address the issue head on, we're making a difference. To hear some of the stories the young men shared with us last night, they allowed us to know them. They got to know us and what we thought was leveling up. That's what we call it, leveling up, becoming a better you. What that's all about. And we put some smile on their faces, and they open up their minds to us, and we appreciated it, and they appreciated us.
Awesome. And so, y'all just making me think about all this stuff. But another thing is, I was talking to somebody one day, just a couple of days ago, and they were saying how one of the teenagers was thinking about suicide. They kind of mentioned it. And so, but when they kind of mention it, we have to kind of pay attention.
Right.
We can't just be like, they ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
We really don't know what they're going through. And and the person was like, well, I don't even know, why would they want to commit suicide? They got a place to live. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, but if they're in that, even if they have a roof over their head, but if nobody in that house is paying attention to them, if nobody is showing them love and support, if nobody is giving them forgiveness for the things that they have done wrong, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You still feel lonely, right?
Yeah.
You do. Mental health is very real here in the Charlotte community. It's a major issue that we tend to shy away from, and the results are being seen on the news daily. There's no reason why these kids have to be concerned or concern themselves with adult issues whatsoever. But adults will shy away or turn their head, turn the other cheek, so to speak. And when a child is speaking to you, they're crying for help right then. You cannot ignore them. We refuse to ignore them. But, like I said, we don't have all the answers, but we will not turn our back on a child that's just screaming for help.
Right. Charles, do you have anything to say about that? Or?
Yeah, it's just the family is busy. Sometimes in a lot of these families, it's a single mother. And I really want to apologize for that. I wish our men would step up more, and we're doing everything we can to get that to happen. And that's what I mentioned to the young men last night. Even if your father is not there to throw that football to you, to go out to the park and just shoot some hoops, I'm here if you want to talk. Here's my card. Call me. Even partnered up with Miss Gray over at Mel Elite Academy on Badersford Road. She's doing the same thing with the same vision of working with these young men. Like, we got to be able to just take time out. And mom working or mom and dad working, sometimes the kids get lost in the shuffle. I mean, the light bill and the rent, especially rent now, how high it is in Charlotte, and they working 2-3 jobs to try to provide. And this kid, like Lamar said, is screaming for help. And it's bullets going off inside their head. They say, well, I might as well just do it for real. And nobody is there to talk to them. So they need counseling, or they just need that shoulder. And that's what we want to provide over at St. Paul's, that they can have somebody to come over and call, because I know it's real. I lost a nephew to suicide. He was 21 years old, and he's gone. My son had the tattoo on his neck, and my son lived in South Carolina, and he told me about it and everything. And I was like, wow, I remember them growing up playing together, and now he's gone because it was probably somebody bullying him, or just he just felt like he wasn't worthy of living. And that's just the way the society has us thinking. But that's why I say you got to get into their heads, let them know they're valuable, they're needed. And I also like to think about the concept of losing our young men. And not only did we use that young man, but we also lost the kids that was inside that young man. So we losing generation after generation just by one man dying. He's the provider of the seed that provides to the egg. I don't want to go into a sex class, but I'm just saying, not only did he pass, but everything that he was carrying passed. And we losing too much, and that's when they get into the genocide and all that on the black male. But a lot of it is us, and it's easy for us to kill us, but it's also easy for Euro Americans to kill them. Chinese kill Chinese. But like I told one guy in one group I'm in, I'm not Chinese, I'm black. And I need to take care of my community. You take care of yours, I take care of mine. But that's the thing that we all got to consider, that we're losing so many people to the cancer, to the bullets, and all this need to be addressed.
My Lord, just you saying that, like you said, that person, it's not just them, but what they're carrying.
Right.
That's something right there. That's a message. Y'all better take that to the streets, okay? Because that's serious. When people, because a lot of times you think, well, nobody's gonna miss me. I don't have no talents. And a lot of times we compare ourselves to somebody else, and like even your brother and your sister in the same house. One could be like really good at sports, but you just ain't good at sports. That ain't your thing.
Right.
And so because they get the accolades and people are clapping for them, but not the other one, you feel like you're unworthy.
Right. And
so,
it's easy.
So we have to remind them, like you're saying, hey, no, you just different. There's something that people can clap about for you too.
Come on now.
You just got to figure out what that is.
Right.
You stay around and give me some time. Let's figure it out. We can do it together.
Absolutely.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. That's what we try to be proactive. We want to make a difference before something happens, not after it happens. And that's what has been going on. So we're trying to change that whole narrative about it, as Carter said, that we're trying to do things before things happen. We want to make a difference now, not after something happens and we come running out. No, we're on the street right now. We're out there in the community right now. We're doing our best to make a difference. One child at a time, but we are putting forth the effort, and it's going to take a collective effort from all of us.
And that's what I was going to say. You guys can only do so much, but you're out there. Right. And hopefully the fact that somebody sees you out there, they're like, okay, well, somebody, let me get out here too. What am I supposed to be doing?
Right.
Maybe they start something in their area. They just say, hey, I see you guys have this implemented. I want to do it in my community. Either can you come and we all link up so we can reach further, or can you teach me? But either way, it's being magnified, right? Your reach is being magnified. So the fact that you're out there and you're spreading you're singing it loud. Hey, everybody has a purpose. Let's live this life and live it well, right?
Absolutely.
And let's talk about we're talking about everything. We're gonna live, right? So what about even finances? People are struggling, they're going through things. What kind of support, like for the man, who's, I got this family. I don't, I need to work these 3 jobs. I don't even see my family, but I'm frustrated. But I got to get we need stuff. What would you say to them?
I personally would say, don't give up. Don't give up. Your family sees the hard work that you're doing, and they know it's not easy. And I promise you, they appreciate you, but you cannot give up. Understand you want to, but that's just not that's not an option at this point. You have to keep on keeping on, and you can't be afraid as a man to say, "Hey, I need a little help," or I need a little bit of time doing this or doing that, and it's okay, because the flip side is you might just mess around and get that help that you're looking for. But if you never say anything, and that's exactly the result you get, is nothing.
Right.
That's a good point, because I think somebody said the other day, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. Right. And so, we just got to take that embarrassment out of it, because we are all people. All have been through something. We don't get it right every day. We don't come out with the best attitude. Oh, hey, sunshine, no. I don't feel good today. I don't want you bothering me. You know what I'm saying? We all go through it, but we can't allow it to steal our joy on a permanent basis, right?
Absolutely. And the other thing on that is be a cheerful giver. A lot of times we never know who. I'm led by God a lot. So if I'm in line and I see a young lady or I see an older lady with milk and bread, go ahead and add that to mine. And we got, as men, we got to do that. We got to start back doing that. That was big when my mom was, when I was little, rather. If you got more than the average person, then don't wait for them to ask. Help somebody. Help somebody. Pay for somebody grocery. We're the species. We're the male of the species. If you see somebody struggling, here, just put that in your pocket. It ain't much. I drive the trash truck by trade. People come out and give me $3. I put that little $3 in my change purse. That it adds up, and I might take that same $3 and give it to somebody else. So we got to learn to pass it forward and pass it on. If you're doing better than somebody, and it ain't for you to grandstand and take pictures and look what I did, just do it and let God bless you.
I agree with that, because that's what I was thinking about. Sometimes our blessings come because we've given, because we've helped somebody else. And I'm just thinking, I'm just gonna have to be following you guys to see what kind of blessings the Lord is gonna bestow on you, because you're doing so much good stuff. Right. And so, and I just feel like that a lot of times now, because people don't see generosity, they don't really know how to take it. They're like, okay, so what you gonna need in return of this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I want somebody who's listening to know that there are genuine people out here. Now, okay, you have to be wise with the help that you take.
Right.
Be wise. No, ask that question. Okay, if I take this, what's what?
Right.
So be wise, but at the same time, there are people out here who really are concerned and want the best for you. Don't you agree, Lamar?
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of people out here that they're in search of, in need of, and they're afraid. They're skeptical. And what I just have to say to them, never give up. Keep your mind and heart open. Stay honest. And you pray for the best. I'm a firm believer in prayer. I really am. We have this thing with St. Paul Lodge, number 12. We start everything with prayer. We end it with prayer. That's just what we do. We give it all up to the man upstairs, and it makes everything better for us. We feel better about what we're doing, the journey that we're on, and helping out others.
Right. And, and I kind of got off of my subject a while ago. I mean, it went another way, but even like the finances, let's talk about that. It's time for us to get that in check, right? It's time to get those credit scores up so that we can get what we need for our family. There's no need in you working 3 jobs and then you can't get what you need, right? You still lack. So in this season, there are so many opportunities. I know people used to tell us, make sure you go on a job, you stay on that job for 50 years. But now there's so many virtual opportunities, to work. Sometimes now you got to think out of the box, right? I mean, Amazon, there's different things, different options. And so I just want to remind people, don't get stuck right here because it's not working right here, because you're not making what you want right here. Branch out. Do something you never done before. Check out these virtual online. Be a virtual assistant. Men can do that too, right?
Well, you know one thing, Alan, we're not taught these things though. You have to think about our generation. We didn't learn about making better financial decisions, making better financial choices. You take what you have and you get what you want, and that's just that. And that's just so not the way. We've fallen behind. We're too busy worried about the latest pair of sneakers as opposed to the roof over our heads and food on the table. And we really need to change that.
And that camera on the iPhone, I got to get the latest because the camera's better. Are you serious? Stop playing.
Absolutely. And on the money side of it, is first we got to understand you got to appreciate money. If you don't respect a penny, you're not going to understand a nickel, and God ain't going to give you a dime. So you got to understand that you got to be a good steward when God, we can pray all we want, but if you're not a good steward, you're going to mess it up. The average of people that hit the lottery is broke in 5 years because they're not good. no matter how much money you get, if you bad with money, you just bad with money.
Right.
You know, you get a lot of money at one time, you're gonna go buy the car, the rims, and you're gonna be right back broke. Because by the time you finish driving it around 2 or 3 months, it's not even worth that much to you anymore. So, like I said, and then you gotta go to work, and then in the evening you gotta find something else to do. Like you said, get online business. I personally cut grass in the evening for extra finances. So I just don't go to work for 8 hours, 10 hours, and then come home and kick back and pop a Budweiser. I keep going. And sometimes I'm out to 10 o'clock at night, just still grinding, just still trying to get it. And you got to budget your money. You just can't, all these habits we got. A lot of times the money you got is sufficient, but you got all these habits, like you say, shopping and all the stuff that we have, the extra curriculum. You waste a lot of money. Like you said, instead of taking your lunch, you got to stop at the corner store. You got to stop at Bojangles every day. And that adds up at the end of the week. If we start taking and being more accountable for what we do have and making better choices with what we do have, I think we can stretch that dollar a little further.
Mm-hmm. And and even like investing, because we like, what? I'm about to go and live my life. I ain't got but one. I'm gonna do it all right now.
Right.
We're not thinking about the future,
Right.
And I think that's another thing. Like Lamar was saying, we weren't really taught that.
Right.
We weren't taught to think long term. And even though that $50 that you're taking out and you're investing today, you might be like, I need this $50. But I promise you that when it's really needed, you're going to have it because you've invested it.
Right.
And your money, if you invest it the right way, is going to grow with interest.
Right.
If, again, you ask the questions, you invest in the right way. And then you might find yourself 15 years down the road, and you're like, what? I don't need to work for one job.
Right.
So, it's a lot to think about. And it really is a lot to life. I ain't yelling, I ain't criticizing anybody because I ain't got it all together myself.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you what I'm telling you, but from experience, because I'm the age I'm at and I don't have the money I should have ready for retirement.
Right.
And so when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm passionate about it because I want somebody to learn earlier than I did.
Right. And you said the key word, passion. If you're passionate about it, then you're more likely into your calling. When you go to work, you're basically being paid a wage, and somebody is telling you what you are worth. But when you start doing what you're passionate about, it don't even feel like work. Like I said, the landscaping that I started with a push lawnmower and a weed eater from the pawn shop. Now I got a trailer full of stuff, but it was taking me really appreciating what I do and manicuring people's yard to the point where they'll tell somebody else about me and tell somebody. So that's the way my retirement is looking. I've been at the city for 15 years, but I'm planning on when I get ready to leave in 20 years, I got 4 years to get this thing right. So that when I leave there, I can be able to stand on my own 2 feet. I don't want to leave there and be standing in front of Walmart saying, Allie, welcome to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to do something that I can still live with a decent lifestyle. As long as I'm working in my passion, like I said, working with the lodge and working in the community, I know God's going to open doors.
Mm-hmm. And Lamar, what you think about that? How, that passion, that getting into your purpose. Like, how do you, if a man comes to you and be like, I don't know, I don't really know what my purpose is. How do I find out?
It's just a matter of knowing what you enjoy. And once you figure out what you enjoy, then you turn it into how can I make money at what I enjoy? Because it's out there for all of us. The opportunities are there. We just have to open our minds to it and know that we can be just as successful as the next person who we think is successful. They don't work no harder than us. They just made different choices, or maybe a better decision, however you want to say it. But the opportunities are there for us all.
And that is it. That's the key right there. It's enough for everybody. I think sometimes we get a little jealous, or we think, well, what's the point of me doing it? Because I talk to, like, when the authors come on, I'm like, well, It was already 10 million books on the shelf. Why you write yours? You
Right.
know? So, but they didn't get discouraged. They was like, well, my message is different.
I know that's
But
right.
I had something to say about this that somebody
Right.
need to know. So it doesn't matter if somebody else is doing it. If that's your passion, God will open up the doors for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I don't live in Charlotte, so I'm gonna reach people that Lamar and Charles don't, and they're gonna reach people that I will never see.
Right.
So whatever it is, I'm saying go for it
Absolutely.
because you don't know what day you're gonna go to the doctor and get a diagnosis,
Mm.
and you don't want to wait until you get the diagnosis to start
Right.
trying to live. Let's do it
Right.
now, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Live right now. You can start living right now. Go get checked now. I encourage all men, all women. It's okay. You shower every day. At least you should be. Check yourself and then go to the doctor and get a better diagnosis. But please, by all means, just go get checked out. Make sure everything's good with you. And if it's not, then let's take the necessary steps to get better. They're going to tell us what we need to get better, and we just need to follow those steps.
That's right. And even when we get that diagnosis, what how important is it for us to have a I won't say good attitude because of course you got a
Oh, no.
cancer diagnosis, but
No, you
that
have to have a good
main
attitude.
mindset. Go
You
ahead.
have to have a positive attitude, Abby. I promise you. And with the the couple of people that I know personally, if your attitude is wrong, then you're fighting against yourself. You're not doing anything for yourself, so you can't help yourself. So what's the point of it all? You've already given up. So you have to have a positive outlook, a positive mindset, and say, you know what, I'm gonna meet this thing head on. It's not going to be easy. I have a long road ahead of me, but I'm here in it, and I'm gonna keep fighting.
Hmm. I believe that that good mindset, that positivity. I mean, it starts
Mhm.
to outweigh other things. You know what I'm saying? You
Absolutely.
know, you have I don't know how to say it, but it's so important. I'm just saying you fight through it. I mean, everybody is going through something. My struggle may not be Lamar's struggle.
Right.
Lamar's struggle is not Chris's, it's Charles' struggle,
Mm.
but we can all get through it, you
Right.
know. Um, and then if I be like, hey, Lamar, Charles, look, I'm having a bad day. Talk me off the ledge. Come on.
Yeah.
You got to do that. You got to find your tribe that
Right.
can help you.
Yeah.
Just like Lamar and Charles are out there in the community, you got to find those people who have your best interests at heart.
That
They
hard.
don't just tell you to shut up and whatever, but say,
Mm.
okay, lay it on me. What do I need to do for you?
What I need to do.
But that's
That's what.
hard to do. A lot of people are they're scared of those type things, of being there, being really supportive as they need to be. It's easier to say, "Oh, you'll be all right." That's the easy way out, and not you're not providing any help or assistance whatsoever. But when you care about someone, you have to let them know that no, I'm here for you. You're not walking this walk by yourself. What are we supposed to be doing right now? What were you instructed to do right now to get better? Okay, well that's what we need to be doing. You have to constantly be positive in their life, around them, what you say and what you speak, and it will it'll actually go into them to understand that no, the more positive outlook that they have, the better chance they actually do have of winning.
And
And I would say,
go ahead.
just be purpose driven. You got to have a purpose in life, and even though when you get that initial blow, if you get that initial blow, you gotta just know that you're valuable and that you're here for a reason, and it ain't over until God says it's over. So long as you keep fighting, keep working at your purpose, that should keep your mind off it somewhat. If you're an artist, you just keep doing your art. Keep doing your thing. Keep staying focused in what you're doing, and let the doctors do their job. Like I said, but you did your job by going to get checked out and get the process started.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. Do what you need to do to, get through it. Have you a paint and sip party. Like y'all
Right.
come on, get your friends together. Come on. I'm having a bad day, having a bad week. Let's do something to get my mind off of it because in the end I'm gonna win. If you
That's it.
feel like your time is winding down, write that book. Sit down and talk to your loved ones. Tell them how much you love them. Talk to the young people and tell them, this is why I should have went 20
Right.
years ago. You know, so
Hmm.
whatever time that we are allotted, because I could die, before somebody who has breast cancer, and they could survive
Absolutely.
for 20 more years, and I'll be gone. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, it's not necessarily that can
Yes.
kill you.
Right.
We all have an appointed time. So let's, make sure we live out loud, we get the support we need, we get those tests, right, men and women.
Yeah, man.
We're all going to go get checked out so that we can live as long as God needs us to be here, right?
Absolutely.
That is
Absolutely.
correct. And be on the lookout. We're going to do the men against cancer walk next year. It's going to be bigger and better. This thing is going to grow. We're going to take it from the East Coast to the West Coast. We're going to bring awareness to our whole community.
All right, all right. And you got to tell me what's going on so I can come on. I can put your slides up there, your flyers up there. I can tell everybody, oh, they having a party tonight. They
Understood.
dancing for dollars for breast cancer. Whatever it is you're doing, I definitely get the word out because you're helping somebody. So I want to help you to help somebody else.
Awesome.
And so we're going to take just a short break, talk a little bit about the show. So we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, definitely, if you have a way that the men can reach out to you who want support and, just leave like a last word of encouragement or whatever piece of knowledge that the Lord lays on your heart. Okay?
All right.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for being such a wonderful listening audience, whether you were listening live or on the replay. And don't forget to like our Facebook page, Making Connections with Allie and Shay, so that you can get notified every time we go live. Do you have a burning message to share with the audience? Contact Alicia Johnson at info@aliciajohnson.com. That's info@ALYSSIAJOHNSON.com with your topic idea and your message to be booked on the show. And if you're an inspirational speaker or a motivator or simply seeking a platform to share your message, contact Miss Alicia Johnson at info@aliciajohnson.com. That's info@ALYSSIAJOHNSON.com to be considered for 30 to 60 minutes of weekly airtime right here on the Making Connections Network. Again, contact Alicia Johnson at info@aliciajohnson.com. That's info@ALYSSIAJOHNSON.com to be considered for 30 to 60 minutes of weekly airtime, your own radio show right here on the Making Connections Network.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We are making connections with Allie. We are here every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Saturday at 12 noon. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff, but I usually just post on Facebook.
Yeah.
So go to Facebook, turn on your notifications, like the page so you'll know when we go live. And we are sharing great information like we have today. I do want to give opportunities, say thank you to Charles and Lamar for coming on and sharing their heart. And, I hope this resonates with a lot of men and they're like, you know what? For my family, I'm going to do this. I don't want to, but I'm going to do it because I want to be here to see my kids grow up. I want to play with my grandkids. There's purpose behind getting these exams and knowing what we need to know so that we can live well. And so, Charles, if you want to tell everybody how they can reach out to you all.
All right, sure. We're at St. Paul Lodge number 12 on Facebook. That's the only one I know. The young people used to do all that. But it's St. Paul Lodge number 12 on Facebook. And then I'm just Charles Carter on Facebook if you want to look me up. I got the leading lion as my profile picture. but like we said, get tested, figure out where you at in all areas of life. You want to know what's going on with you. And if you need a shoulder to lean on, St. Paul going to be there for you. So we thank you for having us on, Allie. It's been a great experience, my first. So I was a little nervous, but I warmed up.
Yeah, you did a great job. When you're passionate about it, when it's in you, it just comes out.
Right, right.
And so I absolutely will also want to give a shout out to Lamar Richardson.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's right.
And say thank you for, because he was the one that I reached out to initially. And, he was like, well, let me see if I can get somebody else on because there is strength in numbers. And, you're not just hearing from one person's perspective. So, guys, we love you. We care about you. We want you to be well. We want you to, things are scary, but don't let them keep you stuck because you don't have to. You don't have to live in lack. You don't have
Right,
to live in fear. You don't have to live, scared or even
right.
alone. There are people out there who really genuinely care about you, and
Absolutely.
you have a gift. You have a talent. God didn't put he don't have no respect of person. So he gave us all something. And so, if you're feeling suicidal, you're feeling like, life is hopeless, stick with us. Reach out. Get the
Right.
help you need. I can tell you, give me a little time. I can tell you something good about yourself. Trust me,
Absolutely.
because
Right,
it's in there, right?
right.
And so, and just be encouraged. Go get your test.
Hmm.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Get tested. Take somebody with you. Call your family. Have you made your appointment? Hey, I'm going this day. See if you can get an appointment. We'll go together.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So again, we are here with you. Thank you, Charles. Make sure you tell I'll inbox Lamar as well, but make sure you tell him I said thank you for being here with us. And
Absolutely.
don't forget, really, when you guys are doing stuff, let me know so I can help you get the word out, okay?
All right.
All right. Well, family, thank you for joining in today. Make sure you like and share this video. Share because it's going to empower somebody else, okay? But we got to leave for now. But as always, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a good day, everybody. Bye,
All right.
Charles.